Hi, Heather here from Stamps Paper Love. This month I am participating in the Best of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life and several other fabulous scrapbookers. Be sure to check out the link to the playlist below so that you can see all of the creations this month. This is day 5, and we're working with a sketch designed by Susan Stringfellow for Sketch Savvy. Ooh, tongue twister. And so the sketch calls for a chunk of paper with 3 photos on top and some tags, and I'm sticking pretty closely to the sketch. It does ask for some kind of triangular pieces at the top and bottom, and I did not use those triangles. So the photos are of pies from Thanksgiving last year, and it has a pretty funny story to go with it. So I have daughters who are adults, 18 and 22 at the time. And, kids that age have their own set of slang words that they use to describe things. So when I posted my pie photos to Instagram, I did a little play on that got them a little bit excited, so to speak. Anyhow, you'll see that when the title comes out. So now I'm just placing those photos. I matted all of them, and the middle one gets popped up on some foam. So that gives it just a little bit of extra dimension and interest off the page. And there's a pumpkin pie and a Dutch apple pie, and Dutch apple is my favorite. So definitely has to happen every year. So yeah, here is the play on the slang from the kids these days, so to speak. So the post just said my pie game is straight fire, no cap, and that's if you're not in the know, that means that it's fabulous. My pies are fabulous, and I'm not lying about that. And of course, my text lit up right away with responses from the young adults about what in the world are you doing? And I said, well, it got you to respond, right? So must be doing something right. The title comes from the letters. They're actually cork, and they're cork letters from close to my heart a number of years ago. And you are able, and I don't know if all cork is like this, probably, because it's going to take ink. So I just added some orange ink on top of the cork to give it that orangey color. It definitely was not going to work real well with the regular cork color. There just wasn't enough contrast between the brown background and and the letters. So adding that little bit of orange definitely made it pop off the page a little bit. And then the no cap, those are just some letter stickers, again in red and orange that worked decently here. I'm going to add some ribbon on to the tags. And the ribbon is brown and has kind of an orange stitching on it. So lots of brown and orange on here. And I just, run it through the tag hole and knot it on there, and then just trim it down so that it looks decent. Excuse me. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it upside down and work on the other one. The filming of this video, I thought I had it set up a little bit better than I did, but I know as we go to the end of the layout process here, my layout is a little bit lower on the workspace than I would like, so that's not great, but I did not catch that when I was setting it up. So instead of adding the triangles that the sketch called for, I'm just going to add another bigger tag towards the bottom right corner. And again, I'm kind of off screen working on that. And I decided that I wanted to add some stamping as kind of the the embellishment focus. So you can see I have a stamp set to the left there that has the little file tabs, and then it has a bunch of word sayings. So this is the first time I've used this stamp set, and I really like the little word sayings, and I really like the tabs too. They just usually are pretty easy to sneak in to the design wherever you have it. So I'm just going to stamp, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these tabs in orange, and then I'm going to go back and add some of the words to them, and those are going to just sprinkle around in a few locations on the layout. And these, tabs, they're very versatile. You can use them for all kinds of things, and it's nice to be able to stamp them because then you always can get a color that you're going to want to use. And I mess up one of these and end up having to stamp a second one, which is why I know I'm really only probably going to use 3 of the tabs, but I stamped 6 just to make sure that if I messed any up, that I would have others that I could just replace it with. And that becomes kind of a running theme when you're stamping, is that it just sometimes doesn't stamp quite the way you wanted it to, or something gets smudged or bumped, or you don't angle it quite the right way. So it's nice to be able to just make your own stuff and print as many of, well, not print, but make as many of them as you would like. And I think I'm going to add this little strip of hearts on each one too. So that just kind of ties in across the page that there are all these little hearts. So the tabs are done. I cut them out, and now I'm ready to kind of put the finishing placement on everything. So there is a tab that says tradition that goes on there. There's a tab that says, I don't remember what this one says. Oh, thankful for this. And then the last one says this was fun, and I'm going to put that down on the tag at the bottom once I get that figured out. I started out with the tag fairly long, and then I cut it back a little bit. Again, this is the part where it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing because everything's a little bit lower than it should be. But it's just a single tag on kind of a plaid paper from the pattern paper for the tags is from an Amy Tangerine collection, and I'm not really sure where that background piece of paper came from behind the pies. That was just something that I found in my scraps that seemed to work okay. So I was happy that I could use up a couple of scraps as well, because I have lots and lots and lots of scraps. I have no idea what I'm doing now. I don't know why I left all this in here. If it's just me doing nothing, so apologies for boring you to death here. Maybe I was cutting out the journaling card or looking for something related to the journaling card. I don't know. I just went with a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to write the journaling on that. And it's very similar to what I said earlier when I was telling the story about it. And it's just, I made the phrase part of my Instagram post for Thanksgiving. The young adults say cringy, but it was funny and got them to respond, so why not? It's also true. And then I'm just going to add a few more things, and I add a few stickers to each of the tags that went with the Amy Tangerine collection. And then I added another ribbon on that tag and a little heart stamp in the corner. And that pretty much will sum it up. So I encourage you to go ahead and be cringy around your kids, because it is definitely fun. I also teach high school, middle school, so they tend to appreciate some of that cringy stuff too. Not always, but we do what we can, right? There are still shots coming up. I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you will get lots of inspiration from this best of 30 days share that is going on this month.